Drew Allar is on track to being round one, pick one in the 2026 NFL draft. He's on track to being that. Arch Manning won't declare until probably the 2027 NFL draft. Klubnik could be round one, pick one. Same with Levitt, but Allar has better physical tools than them. Better physical traits, more height, more weight, better arm strength. And Allar last year had the worst receiver group of the bunch. He did. He also played the toughest competition of the bunch. And this year, he upgrades at wide receiver, bringing in Trevor Pena, nearly a 1,000-yard wide receiver at about 900 receiving yards. Devontae Ross at 1,000 receiving yards at Troy. Kyron Hudson at, I think, 300 or 400 at USC. They bring in receivers. Kotelnicki's entering year 2, and his entire offensive line comes back. Penn State's running backs return, and while they lose Tyler Warren, and I don't think they'll completely replace him this year, Luke Reynolds is a freak athlete, and Khalil Dinkins is a really good blocker and also a really good receiving tight end as well. Allar will take another step forward. His path is on the same track, statistical improvement-wise, as J.J. McCarthy. Before we resume this segment, please take a few seconds of your time to make sure you have liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and for any team podcasts and playlists linked in the description, and also comment your thoughts down below in the comment section and join my Discord server via the description. All of those things I just asked you to do are completely free, and they sign you up for things related to my channel, or they don't sign you up for anything. No cost to you, and all the benefit to you because we release daily college football content here on College Football with Sam. If you want to support the channel monetarily, sign up for a YouTube membership, or check any other links in the description for my merchandise store and Patreon page. Thank you very much, and let's get back to the segment. It is. So J.J. McCarthy, I know in 2022, which was his second year starting, or his first year starting, that he had that game against Ohio State and also that game against TCU where he threw multiple touchdowns, had a lot of deep balls. The deep passing attack came alive at different points during that game. And Allar has not had that yet. However, when Allar played Ohio State last year, it was Ohio State's best defense since 2019, if not since 2016. And it could have been better than either of those defenses. Could have been. Not saying it was, just that there's an argument for that. It was one of the best Ohio State defenses of the 21st century. Some would say it was the best. The Ohio State defense J.J. McCarthy played in 2022 was one of the inferior Ohio State defenses, definitely in the bottom half, if not far worse than that, of Ohio State defenses in the 21st century. So McCarthy had some big wins, had some big breakout moments that Allar has not yet had. However, he did not play the same defenses that Allar did in those big games. And I would argue Allar's supporting cast and coaching staff up until recently, as in this year or at the best last year, was never as good as McCarthy's was the minute he stepped on campus. So it's not an apples to apples comparison, but I think that in looking at how they both play in the Big Ten, they don't have elite receivers, but they have wonderful offensive lines, good running backs, great play callers. They have a good defense, a great defense to give the offense multiple possessions to figure things out. And then statistically, McCarthy in 2022, in his second year at Michigan, first year starting, had a passer rating in the 150s. Allar, third year starting, passer rating in the 150s. And they made a similar jump from year 1, I think, to year 2 in the comparison. So taking out Allar's freshman year. Allar is, I think, on the similar path to McCarthy, but lagging by about a year. Don't know exactly why that was a higher ranked player out of high school. Could have been a misevaluation. It could be also that Allar has had worse receiver cores than McCarthy has ever had up until this year. And also that Mike Yurcich was probably a worse play caller than Jim Harbaugh and Sharon Moore. We may never know the exact answer. But Allar is 23-6 as a starter. He's a winner. He completed 66.5% of his throws. He had a 159 about passer rating. a 77.5 QBR, a PFF grade that was fairly high and admirable, believe in the 80s. And when I look at his passing numbers, look, 3,327 passing yards, 8.4 yards per attempt, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He also had 302 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns, and he took 19 sacks. And Penn State allowed around 90 pressures last year. They allowed a ton of pressures in 16 games. It was not the best pass blocking offensive line whatsoever. It was a weakness of their team last year, actually, was their pass blocking from the tackles. What do I expect from Drew Allar this season? I expect him, with the receivers he has, the schedule he has, the staff surrounding him, the running backs, offensive line, and another year of experience and training. I believe that Allar will pass for over 3,500 yards for sure. I think that his average yards per pass attempt number will be, I'd say at 9, anywhere from the 9 to 10 range. I think his TD to interception ratio last year was a 3-1. I think it will at least be a 4-1, if not 5-1 this season. That could be a little bit too conservative, just because I know Allar, who's typically safe with the football last year, had some pretty weird and uncharacteristic turnovers. So against Oregon, he threw 2 picks. Against Ohio State, he actually only threw 1, despite throwing 2 against Oregon and then 3 against USC. Had some pretty weird games. So the Oregon and USC game were viewed as some of his better games, and yet in those 2 games, he had 5 combined turnovers, more than half his total interceptions on the season. This schedule sets up nicely. So against Nevada, FIU, and Villanova, weeks 1, 2, and 3, and entering that week 4 bye, that gives Allar almost a month's time to further bond and build chemistry with his wide receivers, all of whom have come from the portal. I would expect him to have good chemistry with his running backs, offensive line, and tight ends. And he knows Kotelnicki's system pretty well because it's his second full season in that system. Oregon in week 5 is the perfect test. It's in the whiteout. It's at home. Oregon is 2 time zones removed. The average Penn State player intuitively, I will calculate this for the preview for this game. The average Penn State starter and 2 player, I would venture, is anywhere from 2 to 4 years older than the Oregon player in that position. So Penn State has all of these inherent advantages against Oregon. And yet Oregon will be good enough on the defensive line, linebacker, DB, and offense, anywhere there, to where they should compete with Penn State much better than most teams on their schedule. They'll play them much closer. So that'll be a moment for Allar to potentially shine. I think he does shine in that game. UCLA, Northwestern, those will be games where I think Allar's going to be stat padding a good amount. At Iowa will be tough, but if the supporting cast comes together and if Allar takes a similar jump that he did from year 2 to year 3, from year 3 to year 4, he should be able to give Penn State a handy win in Kinnick. Win with a sizable margin. Now, Ohio State on the road in week 10 is going to be Allar's biggest test and Penn State's biggest test of the year. Let's just say that and move on. Indiana will have a good defense. Michigan State on the road when MSU's coming off a bye with the staff they have. They could throw some looks at Penn State that maybe make the game closer than Penn State wants it to be. Nebraska could have good players on defense, and Rutgers' defense was so bad last year at run defense that I imagine they're going to regress to the mean and be a better defense this year than they were last year. There's a lot of anywhere from okay to even potentially elite defenses on this schedule. However, there's more okay than elite. They have the 3 cupcake games early, and with the returning experience, the talent that Allar has, the fact that he has really 2 quarterback coaches, and last year I don't think he had anyone with that title, so he's getting more individual attention and mentorship. It's also his second year in the system, and this will be the best wide receiver core that he has ever had. Leads me to believe that Drew Allar this season will put up impressive numbers, will be a top 5 quarterback at the minimum in efficiency, and he will play himself into that round 1, pick 1 conversation for the 2026 NFL Draft. Thank you for watching College Football with Sam. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and team playlists and podcasts in the description. joined the free Discord server where we talk college football 24/7, and have commented your thoughts down below. Check out the description for any ways you can support the channel monetarily. Everything else I've asked you to do is completely free, and your support means the world to me. We're trying to become the next big thing on college football YouTube. 6-figure subscribers, maybe 1 million one day. I think we can do that. And also check out any videos or playlists, anything in these columns right here, where there will be videos and playlists. Yeah, you get the point. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.